A sound soul dwells in a sound mind, in a sound body.
Hello, humans and non-humans of podcast land, and welcome to the Sharing Comics Club. That's the club where we share comics with our friends. We are your hosts, David.
And Brooke, and I bet you're wondering what we're up to today.
Yeah, I get a break. Yeah, I officially have a break from talking, so I am passing the mic to Brooke. So, Brooke, what are we reading today?
Well, David, if the intro didn't give it away, we are leaving the sanctity of comic books and flying across sea to Japan.
Pack your passports, everyone, and remember to pack your toothbrush because you need the toothbrush.
And extra undies, don't forget.
Extra undies.
Cause we doing Soul Eater, baby. My favorite manga / anime of all time. So I will be talking about Soul Eater from the Perfect Manga edition, which is the hardcover, but we're only going all the way up to chapter 1, which if you get the regular volume, that's where it ends. So don't worry. But first, David, do you know the difference between a manga and a comic book?
Yeah, a comic book is a Western art form that uses writing and pictures to tell a story. And a manga is a delicious fruit that's like kind of red and kind of yellow, and it goes in fruit punch and smoothies.
Close. That's a mango.
Ah, damn it. I always get them confused.
So yes, manga actually have a significantly slower pace and places less emphasis on action. And so readers usually get a more gratifying payoff when the action in the story just goes that steam, because they emphasize on emotional reactions and it looks more like a movie than versus in comic books.
Are you taking notes, folks?
Because I'll quiz you at the end, and if you fail, you're out of my class.
You get the worst failure of all, disappointment.
Disappointment. All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So we begin with the chapter titled Soul Eater. Oh my God, she said the title in the chapter. So here we see notorious killer Jack the Ripper being stopped by Maka, a Meister, someone who can wield a demonic weapon in order to hunt corrupted souls.
Can I just say, because I am familiar with the anime of Soul Eater and seeing the manga, it's funny because in this first chapter, Maka looks like if Maka had a kid sister and tried on her big sister's clothes because they look so baggy.
They do. They make her look more younger in the manga than the anime, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
And she has her weapon, Soul Eater Evans, a demonic scythe, which 10 out of 10 Brooke would want. Thank you very much. In the battle with Jack the Ripper, we learn that this is their 99th corrupted human soul that they need to collect in order for Soul to become a death scythe, which is a Meister's ultimate goal. And in order for them to become a death scythe, weapons have to have 99 souls and a witch's soul in order for them to gain that power to become an all-powerful weapon.
So it's like experience points in a video game. You got to fight 99, you got to fight and defeat 99 enemies, and then one boss, which is the witch. So yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, you got 99 low-level things you gotta fight, and then all of a sudden the big bag boss you gotta fight. And after Soul slurps down Jack the Ripper's soul like a jello shot you've had in college, they check in with Lord Death and Lord Death's current weapon of choice, Spirit.
I see Grim. Where's Billy and Mandy?
They'll show up later, don't worry about it.
They use a mirror to contact Lord Death, and it reminds me of how in that web show Ever After High, instead of having tablets, they use mirrors because it's all fairy tale themed.
That's great. So Spirit, who is Lord Death's current weapon of choice, is, spoiler alert, Maka's father.
What?
Well, if I may, and Maka would agree with me, sperm donor.
Oof.
Which we'll find out why in a second. So they contact Lord Death to find out where the witch's soul could be located. Cut to a beautiful, bodacious witch taking a bath. And yes, when you read the manga, just a heads up, there will be some fan service in it, which fan service, if you do not know, is described as material in a work of fiction or a fictional series, which is intentionally added to please the audience, often sexual in nature, such as nudity. So there are a few panels that you'll see if you read this manga or watch the anime that does have some nudity in it, just so you're not shocked. You could always skip those parts. They're not really important to the story.
It's not nudity because nothing's actually shown, but it's basically nudity.
Anyway, also note she is very festive this month because her decor, house, and her magic is pumpkin based.
So she's the pumpkin queen.
She is the pumpkin queen. Sorry, no pumpkin king, so no Jack Skellington, unfortunately. But we got a pumpkin queen, so it looks like we got pumpkins at home.
Oh no, what will we do? It's not like every Hot Topic is just filled with Jack Skellington stuff.
Oh, the tragedy.
However, will we survive this Halloween season?
So Maka and Sol find the witch's house, who is named Blair, and Sol, being the cool guy that he is, which is his downfall, just you wait, goes guns blazing into her house without a care and how do I put it?
I think you mean scythes blazing.
That's true. Scythe blazing. And how do I put it? Crashes into the bosom of Blair, causing him to nosebleed. And people who know what that means, I'm gonna let you have that. And that pisses off Maka, which led them to try and fight Blair, and she just goes, you know what? I'm gonna blow you up with my magic, and goes pumpkin Halloween cannon, and boom.
So Sol and Maka are blasting off again.
yeah. So David, you remember how I mentioned Maka's sperm donor?
Yeah.
Well, we get a glimpse at what he does when he isn't with Lord Death. So Maka's father finds himself at a gentleman's club, talking up with the ladies who work there.
And what's the gentleman's club called? Isn't it called Chupacabras?
It is named Chupacabras, not cabras. So you get what's going on in that area. And we kind of see why Maka hates him so much, in a sense. So we find out from one of the ladies that he is a frequent skirt chaser and got caught by his wife, which means they got a divorce because found him cheating. And Maka resents him so much now, so she doesn't like him anymore. So after being added by these ladies because they were just talking away, he runs away crying for Maka to forgive him, which happens a lot. I will give you that happens a lot. On to the next day. So the next day, here we are back with Maka and Sol, who once again are trying to carry out Maka's Blair Witch Project plan in order to defeat her and make Sol a death scythe. So they have this epic battle, one that actually worries Maka's father, who is watching from the mirror with Lord Death, because he doesn't want Maka hurt.
Oh yeah, just spy on the kids. Yeah, that'll end well.
Yeah, that will totally make Maka like want to have you in her life. Totally.
Man, hologram space dad is just looking better and better with all these sucky dads.
Yeah, seriously.
And to know what we're talking about, see our Superman Last Son episode.
Exactly. So unfortunately he can't intervene because that's cheating and that's not fair, and Maka wouldn't even let him anyway. But once again it goes horribly wrong as the clutches of Blair's assets win Sol over once again, and he decides that, hey, I just want to be Blair's weapon now. F you, Maka, I'm Blair's now. So this sends Maka into a tornado as she yells and screams about how you should never cheat on a partner. Sounds familiar. Kind of some daddy issues, Maka. Just a thought. And how wrong it is to just leave your Meister like that. But it's okay, David. I know you're very upset right now, but luckily...
So upset, so sad.
Luckily for Maka, Sol pipes up and explains to her that she doesn't know what she's talking about and shouldn't worry about him cheating because cool guys don't leave their partners. Insert sunglasses dropping down. And as he has his arm around Blair, his arm transforms into the blade of the scythe and he kills Blair with all the might that he had.
So Blair just got Darth Mauled.
She did get Darth Maul.
Her torso and her legs now have a long distance relationship, one might say.
Yeah, they broke up pretty badly.
Oh yeah.
Victorious, Maka couldn't feel much more prouder than Sol for taking the initiative and hands him the very last soul that he needs in order to become a powerful weapon. So He slurps it down like me with a bowl of spaghetti and starts going through the transition, which
Big anime power up and
fails.
so Soul and Maka now have 99 problems, but a witch ain't one.
We need that on a t-shirt. Bum, bum, bum.
I imagine it makes the Fairly Odd Parents one not working sound when it doesn't work.
That's what I always imagine. Just plot twist. Turns out Blair the Witch is a magical cat, causing her to have 9 lives, which means everything that Soul and Maka work for is forfeited. Yes, including the 99 souls that they have collected over time. Thus ends the prologue of us meeting Soul and Maka.
So they're back to level 1 and a hot cat girl. What a first for comics, am I right, guys?
Oh my god, it was the first shocking things. On to the next chapter. You ready, David? You strapped in?
Yep.
You still alive?
I think so.
All right, you still alive, people out there? Drop it in the comments below. Next, we're going on to the chapter Black Star. Here we start off witnessing a big mob boss, Al Capone, and his goons enjoying
the Al Capone?
Yes, the Al Capone.
And the Jack the Ripper from before. I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, very big theme. These crime podcast ladies are gonna love it.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we witness Al Capone and his goons enjoying the dinner of regular human souls, not corrupted souls.
Al Capone must have just robbed a shoe factory. There's tons of souls there.
Boo.
Must have also rubbed. He also must have robbed a jazz concert. You know they got soul.
I'll give you one more if you have it. No?
No.
All right, 2.
Thought I did, but I didn't.
Boo! Oh, brother, this guy stinks. So in the meantime, we catch a glimpse of Black Star, a new Meister, and his weapon Tsubaki, a multi-transforming weapon in the air ducts above. Also learn that the fighting styles of Black Star are that of assassins, which means he has to be stealthy and quiet in order to get the bad guys.
So for all you Ninja Turtles fans, he needs to strike hard and fade away into the night.
Facts. Good thing he knows how to do that and all jazz, right? Right?
Does he?
Nope. Wrong, everyone who actually answered me, even though I can't hear you. He goes guns blazing, loud as all hell, and poor Tsubaki has to try to clean up the mess he's currently making.
Brooke, if he's all stealthy and kills the guy and no one knows it's him, how will everyone know his name and see his face? Because he clearly craves the spotlight. He wants to be a super cool secret assassin, but also have the spotlight. Those two are totally compatible dreams.
Yeah, what am I talking about? What do I know? So after that fiasco, Black Star is all in good spirits, and he's visiting Lord Death, thinking he's gonna get praised and like these cool things, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, delusion's a powerful thing.
Delusion is a powerful thing, and yep, wrong again, everyone who also again answered me, and I still can't hear you. Lord Death is just a very angry parent who is very disappointed in you for trying your best, not coming from experience or anything.
Did Black Star really try his best, though?
He thinks he did.
Well, unfortunately for Black Star, denial is just a river in Egypt for him.
So he explains to a big ego-headed Black Star and sweet, timid Tsubaki that there is another way to become a Death Scythe. And that is collecting a very strong soul, which basically is equivalent to 99 souls, in order to make up for lost time. We are going to find that.
So we need to find a guy who does like a lot of push-ups, drinks a lot of juice. Maybe he's got like a bald head and, wears a cape.
Kind of looks like Caillou,
Yeah, it looks like Caillou. Like the third evolution of Caillou, and the middle stage is Aang.
You guys know what we're talking about, right? Well, luckily Death has all the answers they crave and give them the information on how this one guy, whose name's Mifune, protects the witch Angela and is so strong he proactively is 99 souls. So of course, being Black Star, he accepts without thinking and heads to defeat Mifune. But not before he could prove to Tsubaki that he is the perfect assassin while trying to sneak on her while she's taking a bath. which, spoiler alert, does not work out for him, and he gets a shuriken to the noggin.
As he deserves for spying on ladies in the women's bath.
Exactly. He gets what he gets what he deserves.
A shuriken to the face.
Mm-hmm. Well, time to defeat Mifune and get the witch's soul. Should be easy, right, David?
Yeah, right. Just gotta defeat the...
Get out of here with all your wrong answers.
Yeah, just gotta defeat the totally impossible guy and then also defeat the witch.
Also impossible.
Yeah. Can I just also ask, have we commented about the sun and moon yet and their faces?
No, but I will talk about that in the next chapter.
Okay, then.
So keep listening, everybody. You'll get to know about the sun and moon. As soon as the pair walks up to the site where they meet with the excellent marksman Fune, who just finished off Al Capone and his goons, who got to the place first, and instead of taking a right to Albuquerque, decided death was the better option.
Yep, that's the whole place is littered with souls. So in addition to bodyguarding a witch, now we can add littering to Mifune's crimes.
Exactly. So he just keeps getting worse and worse. So,
dude, when will it end, Mifune?
When is it enough? So now we get Black Star versus Mifune in an epic sword and shuriken battle. Mifune basically just wants to go back to bed, but Black Star, me too. But Black Star keeps using Tsubaki to the fullest and even uses her as a smoke bomb to try and sneak up on him in the heat of battle, which I'll let you guess, David. How do you think that turned out?
Not well for Black Star.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Right answer. So Black Star's loudmouth yet again fails him, and Mifune gives him a lasting blow that worries Tsubaki into thinking that he officially ended Black Star. Don't worry, this is the beginning of the manga, and that's obviously not the case. Wink, wink.
So Black Star thankfully doesn't get Uncle Ben. Yeah,
we don't get an Uncle Ben vibe yet. So it turns out Mifune hit Black Star with the back of his sword hilt because, and I quote, killing a kid would make me lose sleep, which pisses off Black Star because, like, how dare you call me a child? I am not a child. I am Black Star. How do you not know my name?
I'm a big, strong man.
I'm a big, strong, I am a man. And so Black Star wants to resume the fighting and ends up asking Tsubaki to go in demon sword mode. Ooh. And Mifune reluctantly takes the challenge because at this point he's like, fuck it, guess I'm gonna kill a kid.
Oh, he's gonna pull an Anakin.
Oh god, he's gonna pull an Anakin, and he just wants to go back to bed, unlike Anakin. So, but this time, Black Star wants to show off his assassin training. Yes.
And as Deadpool says, you can't spell assassin without sin and twice the ass.
Rule number 1, blend into the shadows. Control your breathing and wait for your target to let his guard down. Rule number 2, tune into your target, predict his thoughts and actions. And rule number 3, strike your target before he gets a chance to notice. And, like me with my love life, Mifune did not see that Black Star was standing before him, was actually Tsubaki in dummy star mode, allowing the real Black Star to strike him from behind with Black Star's Big Wave.
So Tsubaki evolved into Starmie and then used Transform like Ditto.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
So when he used Black Star Big Wave, it's basically a move only he can do, which blasts the target's soul wavelength to like overdrive, basically weakening the target. And so having weakening Mifune, Black Star takes the chance to finally kill him and gain his soul. But before he could get the chance, the witch Angela reveals herself, which happens to be a little girl, wants to protect Mifune with all her might. And Mifune basically said, you can kill me, but let her go. She is just a child. Black Star, seeing this, has a change of heart. Shocking, I know. Leaves them be, while also repeating what Mifune said before. Killing a kid would make me lose sleep. As he heads back home to later fail at spying on Tsubaki once again.
And shuriken to the face once again.
Once again. So moral of that story, don't spy on people in the bathroom. It's very wrong.
Don't spy on people in the bathroom or you'll get what you deserve. A shuriken to the face.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for this next chapter, which is my favorite, which is titled Death the Kid.
And he's also my favorite.
And no, it is not about Lord Death, who we've met before as a child. Nope, this is about his young, perfect son.
Obviously named after Death's old friend, Billy the Kid.
Which is funny, which we'll go back to that actually. So now here we begin this chapter with a thief named Lupin being cornered by Kid.
Lupin the Third?
Nope, just Lupin, just a born old Lupin.
Oh, Lupin the First.
Yeah. So
we got real celebrity starter villains, don't we?
We do. So he's being cornered by Death the Kid, who I will be speaking as just Kid, with his demonic guns, like Billy the Kid. Being the perfect son that he is with the perfect talent, his guns reveal themselves into twins, Liz and Patty, but instead of landing in the perfect place, Patty, the youngest, was a bit off her mark, sending Kid into a fury.
Kid is like Megamind. Everything is about presentation.
Facts. You see, Kid likes everything to come to symmetry because symmetry is the ultimate beauty.
For those who like cop shows and stuff, Kid is kind of like Monk from that TV show Monk, where everything has to be like a certain way and in a certain order and in its certain place.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
So, if things aren't symmetrical, they're unworthy, gross, and must be fixed. He even points out assets with Liz and Patty, saying that their boobs aren't the same size from each other. And then Liz, coming right back at him, says that Kid himself is unsymmetrical because the three white stripes on his head are only on his left side and not the right. Blasphemy, I know.
Which, I mean, Liz had a point, and I mean, like, dude, don't do that.
Yeah,
Kid, don't do that.
You're gonna end up getting hurt if you do that. So after hearing that about himself, about being not symmetrical,
asymmetrical.
Yeah. He sent himself into a spiral of calling himself trash, which is the humor of kids nowadays. So he just fits right in.
Oh, so he's in the fetal position, like the Crimson Chin from that one episode of Fairly Odd Parents.
Basically, yeah.
Is it going to be like that comic in that episode where the whole rest of the comic is just Kid in the fetal position?
Yeah, and I got canceled for it. So after breaking out of the spiral, after Liz and Patty kind of built him back up again, he makes a call to his father, Lord Death, and asks if there was a place where he could collect a lot of souls for Liz and Patty, which he's trying to make death scythes of his own, because usually Lord Death leaves it to the Meisters for them to create death scythes, but Kid wants to make his own so he can make it just how he likes it, very symmetrical, and that's why he also fights with two guns, because they're the same weight on both sides and he could shoot both of them.
Wouldn't they technically be death guns then? Or I guess death scythe is just the umbrella term for every weapon then, I guess.
It's more like weapon of your own. I'm just so used to saying scythe because of soul, so
soul's the main one, so everyone just says, oh, death scythe.
Yeah, pretty much. For context, there's more weapons than just scythe guns and multi weapons like Tsubaki that are out there, but they only focus on a few in this manga.
Mm-hmm.
So Death recommends Anubis pyramid, which seems to have a mummy running around and attacking people and wreaking havoc, basically.
So Kid's daddy tells him to go kill a mummy?
Yes.
The look on her face. Folks at home, Brooke gave me the look of death.
I did.
Fitting for this manga, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So, pack up your things, kids. We're going to Egypt. And here we see the terrifying, scorching sun David, would you like to comment further on the sun?
Can we call Kirby so he can fight the sun like in the video games? Because that sun is activating my fight or flight response.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't want to look it up on Google, even though you're on the internet already, but whatever. The sun has a giant mouth, a pointy nose, and just
spikes for days.
Like it will bite you.
Also in the anime, it has a very echoey laugh, and it goes, hey, 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 hey.
It does, and so does the moon.
Oh yeah, and the moon isn't any better. And like, you remember the moon from Majora's Mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, that moon ain't got nothing on this sun and moon.
Oh yeah, no, it does not.
If Pokemon Sun and Moon was this Sun and Moon, oh no, they wouldn't. All the Pokemon would run away. Even the ghosts.
All right, so we are at the period of a new pyramid. So we are at the
the period of Anubis. That time of the month, Anubis.
Yeah. All right, so we're at the pyramid of Anubis, and Kid skateboards up the steps. He was a skater boy. He said, "See you later, boy."
We don't own that.
We do not own that whatsoever. I'm not going to sing the rest because
YouTube copyright gods, do not smite us.
Please don't.
We haven't even gotten to Thor yet.
I was joking.
We beseech thee.
So, Kid is admiring the outside of the pyramid, which is very symmetrical and very lovely and very dusty. So, oh shoot! Just kidding. Gotcha. So they're walking in the pyramid and start to walk through it when Kid starts to think that something's off, which scares Liz. And it ends up that he thinks that a picture is in their house is off by just a little bit.
Which fans of Monk will actually remember that kind of being a thing in the show.
And
I feel like Monk and Kid would be best friends. And then Liz, Patty, and his handler would just be like, oh God, now there's two of them.
Oh God, we had to deal with one. Now we got to deal with this one. Oh geez. So yeah, picture hanging a little bit off in his house, sending him into overdrive to the point where Liz is yelling at him to let it go as they're walking through. And he basically does not realize that they're, so he is basically bugging out and doesn't realize that there are enemy mummies lurking right in front of them.
His kid senses were tingling. His symmetry senses were tingling.
So poor Liz gets licked by one of them, which is gross.
Which, nasty, ancient Egyptian germs.
And they're ready to transform into their weapon form, and they look back to be ready for Kid to catch them, and the blink, 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 he is nowhere to be seen. But he does leave it. He does have a courtesy to leave a note.
That's because death raised him right.
Exactly. So
he's polite.
So he basically is like, all right, I'm dipping to make sure that this picture was like perfect in the house. I'll see you when I get back.
Heart, death, the kid.
So basically, Liz and Patty have to go in this sweet, cool twin action mode where both of them are transforming like within each, like with like one at a time, defeating these mummies and taking the souls of those. So they get to the tomb of the pharaoh from the mummy that's causing problems, and it ended up being a necromancer witch named Samantha.
Oh, so this is what Sam does without Danny and Tucker around.
Yep. This is her day job.
Let's be honest. I can see it.
All right, cut to Kid being at home, and he was imagining, after all, his picture was right where he left it in the nicest symmetrical place at all. So he's just like, you know what? I guess I'll just go back. They should be fine. It's whatever. It's not fine. And Liz and Patty have just finished up getting as much souls as they can, as equal as they could, when they get captured by the wrath of the pharaoh.
It's the curse of the mummy.
So Kid returns on his skateboard, and no, I will not be singing the song from above.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Kid's skateboard a rocket-powered skateboard?
It is.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rocket power?
Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rocket power. He's on his way to meet Liz and Patty when a little cute cat ball rolls along, and he goes, "Oh, how cute!" And he realizes after looking at it for like a brief second, the right is different from the left.
It's got more than one eyelash, right? On one side?
Yeah. So on the left side, it has 4 eyelashes, and the right side, it has 3.
Oh, and thus it has committed the greatest sin of all.
Being asymmetrical.
Oh man, Kid would hate like those Final Fantasy characters that have like so much like equipment and design stuff on them.
Yeah, he would hate a lot of things and want to fix a lot of things. So he kicks it out of existence, basically, because it's disgusting. And he hears Liz and Patty in the next room, wrapped up in bandages. Another fan service moment.
But not wrapped up like covering anything, just tied up, and yeah.
So he plushes and starts walking out, and he's like, sorry for barging in. He doesn't want to see anything.
Because he was raised to be polite.
When
barring the first part.
When Liz is like, hold up a second, this is not what it's supposed to look like. It's help us, please. And basically he almost gets attacked by the Pharaoh's bandages, and they're draining the powers of Liz and Patty with the bandages that are there wrapped. So Kid does a kickflip and basically gets them out of the bindings. And they are now back together, and it's time to kill the Pharaoh, which should be easy, right?
It should be.
Not unless the tomb is very symmetrical and very beautiful to Kid.
Yeah, the sarcophagus.
Yeah. So basically the sarcophagus is perfectly symmetrical, which
it's too beautiful. It's too beautiful to destroy.
It's no use. He can't defeat the Pharaoh in that condition. Luckily for Kid, after being beaten almost to his dad, the Pharaoh decides to come out of his sarcophagus to meet him himself, and made the grave mistake of showing his face to Kid.
Also, he's got one of those ancient Egyptian canes like sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah, so basically how I could describe it is
a mess.
Yeah, if you want to look it up, I highly suggest you should, but basically there's no symmetrical elements at all in this mummy.
I also forgot the mummy only has one eye.
He has one eye. He has a sticker in the middle of his forehead. The cane out of his mouth. His limbs are not the same thing. And yeah, so this sends Kid into such a rampage that he just shoots up this Pharaoh like nothing.
So, like Archer, rampage!
Yeah, he does not waste time whatsoever on this Pharaoh.
Pharaoh, more like fair no.
So basically he couldn't allow this thing to exist, but he still got to admire the pyramid, which gets destroyed and falls apart.
Well, that's what happens when Kid uses his Gigundo laser blast.
Yeah, and it sends him into such a depression that Liz and Patty kind of loom over him and try to cheer him up, which kind of doesn't cheer him up. He kind of still talks about how their boobs are different sizes.
Kid was raised polite, but like
when it comes to symmetry, all bets are off.
Pretty much.
So
that's why he needs Liz to teach him it's not okay.
Exactly. So as a punishment for destroying Anubis, his father takes all the souls he collected. So all those souls that Liz and Patty worked hard for, gone.
So do Liz, Patty, and Tsubaki like eat the souls like soul, or do they just like absorb them?
So Liz and Patty absorb them through where bullets usually go in guns?
Oh, so they just like vacuum them?
In the clip, yeah. So that's where they go. They don't.
I was thinking where the bullets like come out, they just vacuum gun.
No, the clip of the So Liz and Patty are pistols, basically. No, they're handguns, actually, to be more specific. So the clip of the handgun is where they collect souls.
Okay, so it's like soul being the ammo. The soul is the ammo, I should say.
Basically, yeah, they do use their soul wavelength as the bullets. And Tsubaki, they never really showed Tsubaki taking souls because
she's a ninja. She's so good. You never see her. You never see her eat them.
And she's with Black Star. So
Hmm.
How many souls is she really getting?
Yeah, and that's a good point.
Yeah, that was Death the Kid. On to the last part of this manga, which is Chapter 1, Remedial Lesson, Part 1.
Is this gonna be on the test?
This will be a bonus.
Fowl, I don't have a number 2 pencil.
That is A-okay. It is a bonus question.
She keeps looking at my test.
All right, here we go. So we start the day off at Sol and Maka's house, and Sol's just waking up, perfect morning for a cool guy, all that jazz, when, surprise, Blair's there.
Well, she followed him home.
Like any normal cat. So Maka, being the lovely roommate that she is, decided to come in and tell Sol that she's making breakfast, only to see Blair on top of Sol, and that's all she got, and basically started kicking the shit out of Sol.
Yep, wouldn't be a manga without those awkward situations that can't just be explained away.
Nope.
Also, I guess Sol and Maka just live together.
I think it's like a dorming situation.
Yeah.
So like Meister lives with the weapon just so they can have a better soul wavelength, which will be explained later.
Mm-hmm.
Together.
Just dormant.
Yeah. Because Tsubaki lives with Black Star and Liz and Patty obviously live with Kid. All right, David, are you ready to go to school?
Oh, yeah, I got my number 2 pencil. I got my everything.
So welcome everybody to Death Weapon Meister Academy, DWMA for short. This academy is basically where Meisters get weapons. Weapons become more powerful, and this is basically Lord Death's way of creating weapons for himself, really, and people to help fight corrupted humans.
So it's like if S.H.I.E.L.D. made Professor X's school.
Yeah, basically.
So it's all more organized. We're still throwing high schoolers at the problem, but they got superpowers. They can handle it. So hey, 2 kids that just so happen to be on the same soul wavelength. Go fight that demon with knives for fingers. Isn't that Jack the Ripper? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just fight him. It's fine.
Is this going to be on the test? This is the test.
This is the test. When do we get to the ride? This is the ride.
Yippee!
All right, so we see Sol and Maka in class. Maka is brooding over what she saw this morning, and Sol's just like, what the heck is going on? And bothering Maka, so she does the normal thing and chops him in the head with a book. As you do, as a bookworm. And Sol reveals that their homeroom teacher, whose name is Sid, got stabbed right between the eyes.
That's not good.
Nope.
Well, if the teacher dies before homeroom, we don't have to stay for class, right?
You'd think that, but before anybody got to that conclusion, Spirit, Lord Death's current weapon, and Maka's father walks in. Joy, great. And he does that whole,
Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
So he basically does the substitute, the bell doesn't decide when you can leave, I do. And he glances at Maka thinking he's all cool, and Maka could give him a time of day, as you do. And everyone's asking, oh, what's going on? Like, are you going to be our homeroom teacher from now on? And Sol's like, no, I don't want you to be. And he's like, shut up. It's just temporary until we find you a replacement. And he starts taking attendance, gives Sol a hard time. And he wasn't going to take attendance for the guys. He was just taking attendance for the ladies.
Gross.
Very gross.
I can see why Maka hates him.
And so, fun fact, Maka and Sol get sent to the principal's office. Ooh, they're in trouble.
So we meet Principal Death in the face, in person.
Yeah, so Lord Death wants Maka and Soul to meet with him. And we get an appearance by none other than Black Star and Tsubaki.
Oh, was this about the toilet paper incident? What paper incident? Never mind. You were saying?
So, of course, Black Star makes a big thing, the fact that he's Black Star and he's great and all that jazz. And so they call on Lord Death, which is... So, David, you want to know how you call Lord Death?
How do you call Lord Death?
So, in the mirror, you write 4242564, and then you knock 3 times on Death's door.
Oh, that's great. So just got to be careful you don't knock on heaven's door, because then you'll get a wrong number and then it'll be very awkward.
They're very awkward. They're very busy. Like, you'll get a busy tone.
So they're not meeting Death in person then?
No, Death stays in a different room and he kind of observes everybody from there.
His magic room.
His magic room. So basically he's like, hey, what up, kids? What's up? Like, being all the cool, like, try to be like the cool dad. Which, it's actually pretty funny in the manga panel. It looks like he's coming up from Maka's head.
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, so bad news, kids. You guys need a remedial class. And Maka's like, what? I am a good student. I do my duties. Why do I need a remedial class? And Death's like, how many souls have you guys collected so far?
99 plus a cat. That doesn't count anymore. Then significantly less.
And he's like, 0. And so he's like, for this remedial lesson, it is said that Sid, their hormone teacher, is not dead, but a zombie.
Oh, we gotta call Scooby-Doo. They went to a whole island full of zombies. They could help him out.
Yeah, exactly. And this doctor had brought him back to life and zombified Sid and is probably pulling strings behind the scenes.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, Lord Death's like, if you don't defeat Sid, you're out of the school forever.
Oh, that ain't good. I don't think that I don't think there's many other demon fighting schools in this universe. So I think they kind of took a very specialized career choice.
Yeah, so if they're expelled, that is the last chance they'll ever get.
They could always join Ant-Man at Baskin Robbins.
That is so true.
I'm sure he'd be very welcoming and show them the ropes. Scott's a good guy.
So they're at the cemetery. Because, you know, where else would a zombie go to?
What cemetery?
Hook Cemetery.
Why is Sid in Hook Cemetery? Was he a pirate? It's because of all those DVDs, wasn't it, Sid? You wouldn't download a car, would you, Sid? I bet you would, Sid. You would download a car. How dare you, Sid?
And this is why you're in Hook Cemetery. So Soul does the natural thing and starts yelling for Sid, telling him to come out and face him. And Black Star's like, hey, if he's in the grave, why do we have to defeat him? Because, like, he's just in a box.
I mean, never thought I'd say this, but Black Star has a point.
Yeah. And so Soul starts digging into the ground, and Maka, who is having a moment, she's
an honors student that just got told she needs to take a remedial class, so naturally she's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that her mother was a famous scythe meister who made Lord Death's current weapon, her father, into a death. So Soul and Black Star do the boy thing and want to pee on Sid's grave.
I mean, they're two high school dudes and we've seen their attitudes. This kind of actually tracks.
Yeah. Until bum bum bum, Sid comes up from the grave and grabs Maka by her ankle.
He rises from the grave?
He rises from the grave, picks up Maka's ankle, and basically is like, are you scared? Are you scared? And Maka calls for Soul. Soul transforms into his scythe and hits Sid in order for Maka to get away. So Sid basically is like, listen, I died, so like I'm not afraid of death. You shouldn't be either, so I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, no, just don't worry. I got turned into a zombie. I don't fear death anymore, so then I'll kill you, and then you guys will go out and you'll kill like 4 more zombies, and then at the end of this, you'll just be your own boss.
Exactly.
And it's after he must have just saw the last episode and got the idea for a zombie pyramid scheme. Or last chapter, I should say.
Yeah, it ends up being an epic fight between Sid and the kids. Maka's trying to do everything she can by blocking and trying to get close. Black Star's kind of doing a far away approach at first, but then all of a sudden he had a window and was able to hit Sid in the stomach and shoot out his soul wavelength. And basically, so he shoots out his soul wavelength, causing Lord Death, who is watching behind the scenes as he does, to kind of give him a little gold star as a, look at you go.
Oh, a gold star for Black Star. How about that?
Wow, I know. And Maka starts to go in because she also wants to start to fight, and she narrowly escapes. Maka narrowly escaped from Sid throwing his tombstone down on the ground. And she yells how she wants to get stronger and how she wants to fight. Maka just goes in on Sid and starts beating him up. And basically, Lord Death was even like, all right, damn, okay. Someone's not showing any fear right now. Cool. And so Sol and Maka decide to do something crazy because they need to think of anything possible to defeat Sid, because Sid has the advantage because he used to be a Meister before he died. And so he has a lot of fighting styles that the kids don't have. So they're kind of at a disadvantage.
And as we've seen, he's not the slow, stupid zombie. It's more like he's stronger, faster, doesn't fear.
Better, stronger.
So he's basically like Captain America level, flinging around tombstones.
Yeah, he is.
And
Captain
also
America.
he's got the skill to go along with it.
Exactly. And he has the resume as well.
So he's undead, stinky Captain America.
So Sol and Maka decided to do something crazy and matched their soul wavelength. And they were only able to do it once before. And so they do a soul resonance. So soul resonance is basically where the Meister and weapon souls start to connect and their energies start to connect and start to be the same to create this ultimate fighting move. So it's basically when you play Smash Bros and get the ultimate move,
The Smash Orb.
the Smash Orb, that's basically what's basically happening.
But instead of getting a ball, you have to get 2 souls, 2 or more souls, and because Kid can do a move too. But you get 2 souls at like the same wavelength, and they need to be like in tune with each other and connect on a level, right?
Yeah.
So they need the power of friendship.
Basically, so they have a soul resonance and they have the great technique of the Scythe Meister, which is Witch Hunter, which causes the scythe to go big into this big, beautiful crescent.
Like the moon.
Like the moon. And it's a big, powerful swing you have to do in order to use it, which Maka, who's never really done this many times before, kind of trips and almost hits Black Star. And so that causes a fight with Black Star and Maka with Sol, who start blaming each other. And then they all start fighting. And Sid's just like amazed. He's like, from the My Chemical Romance song, which I'm not going to sing, from Teenagers. So if you know that song, you know what part I'm talking about. Teenagers scare the shit out of me.
I love it because Sid's just like, guys, were we up? No, okay, I guess I'll take my tombstone and go.
Yeah, so Maka's like, oh shoot, Sid's still here. And she's about to hit him when he just goes into the ground and disappears.
Oh, Sid used dig like a Diglett.
Yeah, he did use dig like a diglet, and then all of a sudden rises up from the right underneath Maka and slashes her with a piece of wood or bark. I think it's a branch. It looks like a branch to me, so I'm gonna say it's a branch. He literally slashes her with a branch in the shoulder.
Ooh.
And so he went, and then he basically did Sid used Sid used dig again and went back into the ground. And Maka's like, what do we do? Black Star's like quiet, surprisingly.
Oh, now you know it's serious.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like, his demeanor changed, and Tsubaki's like, Black Star, what's up? And he's like, I got it. And he's like, Sid's doing the way of the assassin. So we see Black Star demeanor change, and he starts trying to get one step ahead of Sid, and he is mad that he hasn't had time in the spotlight and Sid's ruining it for him. So he uses the move Trap Star, which is basically having Tsubaki make the shape of a star, and he's able to track where Sid's soul is.
What weapon did Tsubaki turn into? Because I know she was like a chain when she made the star.
I actually don't know what this weapon's called, so let me go look it up.
I think it'd be funny if it was just one really long nunchuck, because Black Star is kind of like the Michelangelo of Soul Eater.
Yeah. So Tsubaki is like classified as a shadow weapon. So I can't say the name of the thing that she could be, because I don't want to mess it up.
Well, we know she turns into like ninja weapons, so it's something ninja-y with a chain.
Yeah, so I will put it in the description below what she can turn into. I just know I will say it wrong and botch it, and I don't feel right saying it, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me.
All right. So whilst Black Star is tracking Sid's soul, he starts, while they're in the middle of the star, he starts focusing on Sid's wavelength to try and track where he's going. And it's actually through Tsubaki. So Tsubaki with the chains is sensing where his soul wavelength is.
Almost like Toph from Avatar, how she sees with earthbending.
Yes.
Or Daredevil, how he radar senses. So Black Star has like a soul sense.
Yeah, and he's able to figure out where Sid's gonna pop up, and so he does Trap Star and captures Sid for good. Goes back to his normal self, and it's like, ha ha ha, I caught you, ha ha. And he also caught Maka in the process because he wants all the glory to himself.
Oh, Black Star.
Meanwhile, the people watching, which is you thought was just Lord Death, is him and his son.
Can I just say, I love the picture of Kid in the chair because it's too big for him. And it's like, it's literally like, oh, he's sitting in Dad's chair.
Oh, he'll
And
grow
he's
into
also
it
got
one day.
the little finger pyramid thing. Like, he's like, yes, my plans. I'm like, oh, he's got plans. He's got machinations.
Oh, he'll grow into that chair. So basically, Kid asks his dad who is involved in making Sid a zombie, and he can't just be anybody. He can't just be a random person. He has to be someone that you know. All the while, Soul is literally yelling at Sid to tell him the same thing because he's like, who the heck are you working for? Who sent you?
Who sent you? Swear to me. What? Oh, sorry, wrong comic.
So they're trying to get information out of Sid, and I hate this part in the manga, but in order for you guys to understand and not be shocked, Black Star basically shows Tsubaki's panties, and Sid says who is behind Sid says who's behind it all, which is Dr. Stein.
Good old Frank.
Yeah. Soul, thinking he's losing the fact that like Black Star got the upper hand, he does the same thing to Maka, and Sid just doesn't do anything.
Double gross, no matter how you react, Sid.
Very gross. So,
especially since Sid was their teacher. Ew.
Yeah, it just doesn't go well all around. So after that, and Maka literally beats the shit out of all three boys.
As she should and as they deserve.
And they apologize, which means nothing.
No.
They found out that his lab, Dr. Stein's lab, is just outside Death City. And Death the Kid's like, all right, that's weird, but who is he? And Death, without even like passing a glance, just goes, he's very tough. So we get outside of Death City, we see a building, which basically looks like it was Frankenstein together.
All stitched up.
And we get into the glimpse of the madman, Dr. Stein, who has a screw in his head.
Gigantic one.
That he could turn. And he's like, my head isn't clear. And he creaks the screw and smokes a cigarette. And it just finds out he's bored.
Well, when you got a giant screw in your head, everything else seems boring by comparison, doesn't it? Might as well make a school teacher a zombie.
Yeah. Oh, and so we go back to Death and his son, and Death asks Kid, hey, you remember Spirit or Death Scythe? And he goes, yeah, the weapon that Maka's mother made, right? And he's like, yeah, but did you know that Maka's mother was his second partner? And Kid was like, oh, gasp. You know what that means, David?
What does that mean, Brooke?
It means that he had a first partner. And you want to know who his first partner was?
Who?
Bum, bum, bum. Dr. Frankenstein himself.
Oh, not to be confused with Frankenstein's monster?
Exactly. Dr. Frankenstein, the man who is the most powerful Meister to ever graduate the DWMA.
Oh.
These kids are in for a wild time. But that is where we are ending this podcast. So, David, what'd you think?
I thought it was fun to revisit Soul Eater after not watching it for so long. And I kind of realized oh yeah, they kind of just kill witches indiscriminately.
They do.
It's kind of not okay.
Well, further on, you'll find out why witches are being killed and everything. Not gonna say it because it gives away spoilers.
Obviously.
But honestly, this is very Halloween-y. If anybody wants to read this during October, very Halloween-y theme. 10 out of 10 would recommend, only because I can reread this manga all day long and it just never gets old. It is action-packed. If you don't want to read the manga, check out the anime. The ending's different from the manga, and the manga kind of goes slower than the anime, but if you don't want to read, I highly recommend the anime.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I kind of forgot about all the inappropriate bits, but I give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
But yeah, so that was this week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed me talking for the whole time.
I sure did.
So,
dear listener, always remember to check out your local comic book shops and your local libraries, because without them, we would be unable to do this show.
Also, as a reminder, links to what we talk about will be down below in the description, as well as what Tsubaki could turn into as a weapon, so you understand. If you want to listen to more mangas, please let us know in the comments, because maybe every once in a while, I'll pop in.
And also remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter, because we have a Twitter now.
Woo!
So,
we tweet things. We tweet things. Go look at it. Go look at it right now. Go do it. Do it now. Do it now. Go look. Are you looking? I don't believe you. Go look.
I dare you.
I triple dog dare you.
You gotta go double dog, then triple. You don't just
we go big or go home. And with that, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.